bunch of educators are weighing in like this is like highly problematic. There's like do not this is gonna take all the leverage away for kids to do anything. And so commenting on like all A's, what your thoughts are. I know you don't have a ton of context, but I'm sure you have some thoughts. And the issues of implementation when it comes to this aspiration about introducing topics that are focused on knowledge and stuff.
On the topic of all A's, I would just say, like, who cares? Like, for real? Look, I'm from the 3400 block in East Oakland. And if you survive COVID, you excellent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gives no if somebody from Piedmont survives COVID, because I already know they gonna survive COVID. So what? Like, as if the playing field was level before this and we were being compared, like A versus B versus C on some like equitable, man. Okay, word. You don't want to do all A's? Got you. You come live where we live for the rest of the global pandemic, and I'm going to go live where you live, okay? And I'm going to give you my monthly allowance, and you going to give me your monthly allowance, and then we going to talk about grades. You. 100. Like, this is why revolutions start. You don't want to give up an A? Man, stuff like that makes me question humanity. You don't have a clue. This is the debate you want to have with me. You want to have academic, rigorous debates with me, while our people are going homeless, can't eat, and you want to talk about homework? How about homework is how do you survive without food? How do you survive when your entire block has tents on it? Social distancing? Go to the places where all these homeless communities are concentrated and hand-to-hand drug deals are happening every day. And my mama has to walk past there because that's where she cleans houses. That's where she cleans hotel rooms. That's where she's an essential worker. Come on, man. Like, cats need a grip on reality. So everybody who wants to raise your objections. We have a special project as a part of the SFUSD school board called exposure. So everybody who's concerned with the all A policy, right? Your concerns are registered. And what we would like you to do is take you on an exposure educational experience and then review your stance on all A policy. Because that shit will change your worldview. Seeing is believing. Right? So just do a little pilot project for everybody who's down for it and everybody who's not down for it. I take some cross group and say, okay, cool. So you down for it, you not down for it. We just want to have a policy discussion. Okay? 10 of y'all. We're going to take y'all to the places where there's relative COVID security. Whatever those, I ain't from SF. I'm from Oakland. So I know where I'd take you in Oakland, but wherever you take them in SF, okay? And here's what kids are experiencing. Here's what families are experiencing. Okay? Now, the second half of our day, we're going to go down in the lower bottoms. We're going to go down in the grimy. Okay? Here's what those kids are experiencing. Same city. Not a different, suburban zip code, like same city. Same policy is going to affect all these kids. Let's come back and let's just talk about it. What'd y'all see? How y'all feel about this policy now? Right? Like, let people be exposed. There's a brother, why is his name escaping me right now? He just had the film come out, Black Man.
Last White.
God, Brian Stevenson. Thank you. Okay, Brian with a Y, Stevenson with a V for your viewers. So anyway, he's arguably the most well-known death row lawyer in the United States. His book just became Hollywood blockbuster.
Okay.
Anyway, he tells this story. I've been in a couple of different talks with Brian, and he told a story one time when I was in talk with him about. He said that that one of the biggest problems we have in the United States is that you've got all these people who are really, and I would argue, like, a lot of those people that are like saying, oh, we can't do all A policy. These are not bad people. Okay, these are people who are, they want our children to be held to higher standards. Okay, so we got. He says, Brian Stevenson says, we've got all these really smart, committed, dedicated people who are investing all this energy in social justice, and they're sitting around these tables and they're designing policies like all A's, not all A's, right? He says the problem is that they have no proximity to the pain that they're actually developing policy to respond to. And so they develop a policy that is based on their worldview. And it's not by definition a bad policy, it's just ignorant. And what it ends up being is aspirin. And aspirin will relieve your headache, but it won't keep you from getting headaches. And real medicine is not aspirin. Real medicine gets at the root cause so that you stop having headaches. So I would encourage you all to develop policy that isn't aspirin. Policy that's actually rooted in a response to proximity. So you've got to get the people that are making these policy decisions proximate to the pain that they're trying to resolve. Who are those most in pain? And how does our policy respond in a meaningful way to their pain? Well, we're in a global pandemic, and crisis always elevates inequalities. So those and schools are social mirrors. So those who have the least get the least. And those who have the most get the most. And every policy coming out of a school board should start first with those who have the least. What is the policy that makes the most sense for the children in our community that are the most vulnerable and the most wounded? Because history will judge you based on how you treated the most vulnerable ones. If you claim to be a pluralistic, multiracial democracy, that's how you be judged. If you are a social apartheid, if you are an oligarchy, then you will be judged based on your ability to support those most vertical in your apparatus. But that's not what we say we are. So we have a bit of a conundrum. Is that we claim to be pluralistic, multiracial democracy while designing policy that looks oligarchical. So from a policy perspective, right, the approach needs to be different. Get proximity. Spend time interviewing the kids who don't have access to distance learning, who don't have access to devices, who don't have access to internet, right? And figure out what is the assessment and grading policy for them. Because if you verticalize that, it will be fair.